And welcome back. Just finishing up from cleaning up something of a mess because I was doing something in here and I had forgotten and left the door open. And what do you know, I looked up and there was a creeper walking in the door. He walked in to right about there and exploded. And he blew the front of this place completely off. So I've had to rebuild it. Just finished rebuilding it. And it doesn't look quite the same as it did. I went with more glass to try to get more visibility. And of course that is a reminder that I need to close doors. And in fact I should probably go ahead and put a pressure plate on that, so that I don't have that kind of a problem again. Let that be a lesson, folks. Creepers and presumably other mobs can and will walk in the door if you leave it open. So don't leave your doors open. It's a very rude surprise. And anyway, now that 1.7 is here, we have some things like pistons and shears. Also, I've read that TNT will no longer explode when you set it. When you hit it, it will actually break down, and you can actually pick up TNT that you've placed and move it. So that's good. Let's see. We need iron, we need redstone, some planks, and some cobblestone. So you have 3 planks across the top, 1 iron in the middle, 1 redstone here, and then cobblestone. And that's piston. And to make a sticky piston, you just take the piston here and put a slime ball up above it. I don't have any here yet, but I'm sure that will be corrected over time. But the way it works, you just place it down there, and when you place the piston, it will always face you. So, and yes, they break down very easily too. That's good. So when you want to, if you want the piston facing up, you have to jump and place it below you. Let's see. Need a lever because pistons are activated by redstone circuits and such. So you put the piston down, and then you either use a redstone circuit or, like in this case, a lever, and that extends it when you have power. It turn the power off and it retracts. Now things like chests and entities, like for example, a piston will not push a monster spawner. It's too bad. That would be really handy. And a sticky piston would retract that block as well. And pistons can move up to 12 blocks. You put 13 blocks in front of it, and that won't work. Who asked you, door? Okay, let me clean this cobblestone up here. And I have a use in mind for this in just a moment, but we'll get to that. Okay. Out here, the reed farm is as it was, producing very nicely, growing very quickly, and if I wanted to, I could have tons of paper in very short order. Over here, I had cut down most of these trees over here, so I got out my supply of saplings, and I planted 85 saplings over here. And as you can see, they have been growing like crazy, including this one that I think it's trying to be like the grandmother of all trees here. Look at this thing. Of course, the fact that there are several clustered together might have something to do with it. Okay, now the shears. I need to run back and go get some iron. I meant to have that ready and didn't do it. Okay, not a problem. Okay, for the shears, you need 2 iron, and these you can make in your personal crafting table because they fit in the 2x2. Just 2 iron diagonal like that, and you get a shears. Shears are good for 2 things, because they have fixed the sheep so that now when you punch them you do not get wool. You do get 1 wool if you kill them, but if you want to get more than 1 wool and get them a lot more easily without having to kill them or hurt them or anything, then you need the shears. And you take shears and I believe you right click on them with it. However, I seem to have a shortage of sheep, which is interesting because just a little while ago when I was finishing up the repairs from the creepering, there were like 3 or 4 of them running around here, and now there isn't any. Well, we'll get to the sheep if we find some. Another thing that the shears are really good for is for cutting leaves from the trees, and I really like this. You just left click and it cuts the leaves really fast. No more taking half a forever to trim the leaves off of a tree when cutting it down. It's very quick. Of course, I don't see any saplings coming that way, so there is its ups and downs. Another of the ups, as you've noticed, I've been picking up leaves. These leaves are a placeable block, and if you place them next to a log, I believe you can have them up to 3 or 4 blocks away from a log and they will still exist. Okay, I've just put a line of them out here. Well, that's not what I was trying to do. Okay, here it is, you can see. The ones that are too far away from the tree are decaying. These 4 are not. So as long as your leaves that you place are within 4 blocks of a log, they will not decay, which means you can use them in decorating, landscaping, and stuff like that. You know, you can either put them right up against the log, or you can bury a log under them. You know, put a log left flush with the ground and put the leaves along them. So this way you can make hedges and such like that. Very good idea. Very good. Now, some of my plans here include, because I have noticed a sharp reduction lately in the number of pigs and cows and such like that that come around, I am going to be putting in a farm, and this will be a standard wheat farm. I'm gonna level this area out here and build a farm, probably about, say, from here down to the sand, and put fences around it. Another thing, by the way, is fences. You can stack them. You can put torches on top of them, and so that opens up a whole lot more possibilities with design using that. and that will be good. I'll be using that too. And so I'll have a fenced in area here with a farm when I get around to building it, and be doing that fairly soon because, like I said, there is not very many pigs coming around these days, and when they do spawn, they're usually up there on doggone cliffs, and I haven't built a way up there yet. Two other things I need to do, and one I think I'm going to start now, and that is, this place needs a warehouse. My storage that I have in here in the front office is, well, it's very busy. There's a lot of storage chests in here, and they're getting full quickly, so I would really kind of like to move some storage chests out of here, particularly these and the ones that I have sunk into the floor. So off this way, I want to put an addition on this place, and I'm going to wall this off with cobblestone here just to avoid unwanted guests during construction. I will replace at least some of this with glass later on. Jump up here a little bit and be just a little bit more thorough about a wall. There. And now back in here, open up a fairly decent sized area to use as a warehouse where I'll have a lot of storage chests placed, so that I will have a handy, convenient place to put things like cobblestone and dirt and gravel and everything else that I'd bring out of the mines, where it will be handy for general use. Let's get some light on the subject here. That's better. That's a little better. And then out in front of the warehouse is where I'll be building a small but functional minecart station. It won't be anything fancy. There won't be any track switcher or anything like that. Just a simple stop block, some powered rail, and a push button to launch. Oh, good, some coal. Despite how much coal I've been finding, I find myself with a shortage of it because I am using it almost as fast as I find it. Which means that grove of trees that I've planted is going to have to be harvested soon in order to be burned for charcoal, because I'm using loads and loads and loads of torches in this branch mine. Okay, I guess we're going to take this down a little bit and or at the very least get all this coal out of here. Alright, that's good. Fill this in with cobblestone for right now. I'll see about making up some smooth stone or maybe some sandstone to finish this a little bit more properly later on. And let's get some more lights. This is more functional than anything else, but it will do the job. And it will serve as a warehouse. I will eventually, what I'll do is I'll make a whole bunch of chests once I cut that grove of trees down. And I will just line this place with chests and signs to label what's in them. And this will be the warehouse. It will expand over time as I gather more stuff here. And I should probably put a door on here. So eventually there'll be another doorway coming out here, going into the minecart station, or minecart bay, I guess it might be better referred to as, because it's not really enough to be considered a full-on station. Okay, let's just go ahead and throw a door up there. There. And now, as soon as daylight comes around, going to begin construction on the minecart track headed back to the main base. And so we'll just duck in here and take advantage of that.